these kids do when they get into alcohol, they kind of withdraw from the family. You rarely see them. So it's not easy to know when they start drinking. You only realize when it's too late. I believe he started it when he came from, because he went to secondary, he was studying here, then he went to Uganda for the secondary school. It is after he came here, that's when we realized that he was frequenting Kangemi, a lot going to Kangemi and coming back. But kumbe, he was just going to go to drink. My God, when you talk about challenges, they're over. Because you are here with your kid, you're trying to get the best for them, but they decided to go that way of alcohol, and you do everything to help them, but you know, you're trying everything just to help them, but they are not. I'm telling you, it's quite scary. Especially when you are home. Yeah, you are hoping your son will come home. You wait until 10, 11, 12. You know how to be seen. They are not calling, their phones are off. You don't know what is happening. It's quite scary as a parent when you just at home and waiting for your kids and they're not turning up. It's quite scary. Mm-hmm. A couple of times, yes, we were arrested, but you feel better when you hear they're in the police station, because anything can happen to them when they're out there. Yeah.
Were there instances where he was hurt or anything happened to him when he was out there?
Yeah, a couple of times. Mm-hmm. And the worst one happened in 2014 when he was knocked over by a vehicle here at Udhiru. And I think that's where all his problems started, health-wise, because he cracked his skull. Mm-hmm. From here to here. It was severe. I have the X-rays here. It's quite scary when you look at them. That's why his health problem started. Because the first time he went to rehab was in Thika. This time he was, I think he got into a conversion and we took him to Thika. And the doctors realized this guy is very much into alcohol. And they suggested that we take him to rehab. He was asked and he said he agreed to it, because you know, you can't force people to go to rehab.
Yeah.
So he agreed to go to rehab, and we took him to Thika, where we went for a couple of months. And when he came out, he went straight into drinking. It's quite scary.
The very day?
The very day he came out, he went straight to drinking. It's like he was asking the day he would come out to go to drink. When kids get into that state, which people should never ever mistake, it's a mental problem.
Yeah.
It is a condition. People don't know about alcoholism. It is a condition which, unless it's treated or detected early, you end up losing you end up losing life, just like I did with my son. Yeah. We then later, after that, we kept on talking to him, and he went back into drinking again, and it got so bad. In 2016, he agreed to go back to rehab. He agreed, and we took him. We took him to Eden, the rehabilitation place. Then after that, he went there for 3 months, and then another couple of months in, what do you call them, halfway house, where you go in, and then you are released during the day, and you can go and come back in the evening. He was there for 5 months. He recovered fully. He came out, he even went, he did his computer classes, he did his driving, he did his everything. He even agreed to go to Qatar. We got him a job in Qatar. We got an agent here who got him a job in Qatar. And he went. Unfortunately, pesa sio kitu mzuri. When he got money once, when he got there, he decided, no, this is a lot of money. And he went back into alcohol. This time was extreme. One, now he has money. of his own.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's now independent. Unfortunately, he was still living with us, not here, but in the village. Here, I had reached a point where I decided, no, I'm not going to keep him here, because when he went to rehab, there was something we were told by the counselors. In a way, as parents, we also facilitate this drinking. Okay, we help these kids to drink, not by unknowingly. So at a certain point, I decided, no, I'm not going to keep him here. And we have a farm in the village where we sent him. I told him, no, there's no way you're going to live with me here. But unfortunately, when he went back to the farm, this is when he got so extreme and becoming violent. With the mother, with everybody there. And again, he decided that enough is enough, and he would go back to the rehab. Again he went. This time when he came out, that's back in 2018, we took him he said we would get him a job again.
That is the third time he went to rehab?
We took him to rehab, to Qatar. October 16th, I will never forget, because I remember I was with his brother, and him, and we went to town, we had lunch, we had a big discussion, round table, family, me, him, and his brother, 3 of us. He said, we agreed now, you guys, this is time, this is the final one. We have done enough for you, okay? We've really, really tried as a family. I think we've done enough. This is time for you to go. You start your own life. You start your own family when you get back here. And I remember when we had lunch with him and his brother went back to work, and I was taking him to the airport around 2 in the afternoon. I was catching up a flight, Emirates. We had a discussion here, Daddy na kijana. I told him, you know, things happen. If you happen to come back, please don't look for me. I was very, very clear. Don't come looking for me. I think this is it. I have done enough for you. Everything I could have possibly done, I have done it for you. Everything. So it's up to you now to take it over from here. Please. And we agreed. He said, Daddy, this time, hata sitarudi hapa tena. Utaniona tena. Come October, November, December, back in this country. This time, to be very honest, and I didn't even know. Even the agent didn't tell me. Because my son, he was picked somewhere in Qatar. They took him to hospital. He was in a trench somewhere. They took him to hospital. He was in a coma for like 3-4 days, getting drips of water, whatever they feed them. He was given drips for 4 days. He recovered. I think the Qatar government is very strict. They took him straight to the airport. He came back with nothing. But he listened, because he didn't come back to me. He went back to the village. I think he went to Udheru somewhere and got in a place where he was staying. I didn't hear from him until April 2020. I think May, when Corona came. Corona is the one who took him back to the village. He came with absolutely nothing, empty-handed. He was looking like a chukura. His mother was crying, like, where have you been? All along me, I thought you were in Qatar. But he had no explanation. When he realized there is nothing here in Nairobi he could do, that's when he went to the village. He went to the village. He was welcomed back by his mom, and they used to live together. But unfortunately, his habits, he started drinking again, harassing mom to the point of actually insulting her, assaulting her, you know. And at one stage, the brother decided this is too much. So he went to the village, the boy was arrested. He was arrested, and when he was taken to the police station, they decided about two things. You either go back to, you get away from the village, because that one is a final. You're not going back to the village, or you go to jail. So it was like he decided to get away from the village. So he came back to Nairobi. That's how he escaped jail term.
Okay.
Because we kind of negotiated. He said, if we jail him now, I mean, how do we benefit? So the mom just was like, okay, I don't want him. So he came back here. So he was doing his vibaruas, kibarua hapa na pale. And when he came back, we got him a place where he was staying. And I was paying for that place. And it is now in August. Let's jump to 2023 now, August. Yeah. You're talking of the final times. He's been drinking a lot. So he's not been taking his medication, which he was supposed to. He's not been eating very well. You give him money, instead of him eating, he would go for alcohol. So in August, that was on 5th. I remember talking to him. I spoke to him for hours, for so long, because I was asking him, wow, for how long are you going to go on like this? For how long are we going to continue like this? And little did I know it was my last day to talk to him. He even spoke to his mom. His mom sent him some money. He went home. He was seen by my friends, a lot of my friends, near any market. He went to another friend's pub. He was kicked out. He was told, "Do you go home?" Because he was so drunk. He went home, and that was the last time he was seen. That was on a Wednesday. Thursday morning, he never responded to his friends' calls. They not calls, knock on the. He didn't have a phone, so his friends went to knock on his house. He never responded. The whole of that day. There's a place they used to go to church. I don't know what kind of church. And on Friday morning, one of his friends decided, no, this is too much. A guy called Dongo. He went knocking. He said, no, come on, open. I want my jacket. And he kicked the door open, and just found him gone. Looks like he died on Wednesday night from the post-mortem, and his body was decomposing. So, yeah.
And during your son's burial, you talked about his alcoholism and how you lost him to that.
Right.
Because the word here is alcoholism. Why was it important for you actually to have that conversation at that time?
And the reason I decided, I wish I had that paper. I wish I had the eulogy to show you. I sat with my son here. This particular place. I sat with my son here, and we wrote an eulogy. And I told him, we discussed my son, and I said, don't you think, Owen, it's the high time we tell people how your brother died and why he died? And he agreed to it. And we said, yeah, I think it's a high time we tell people. He said, okay, we agreed. We wrote the eulogy. I gave it to him. He said, he went to print. The printer decided, no, we can't. How can you talk ill of your brother? No, you can't write this kind of a eulogy. They changed it.
Completely?
Without my knowledge. Without my knowledge. The proofreading was done by them, and I think they were kind of protecting their brother. It's fine. I totally understand. So this morning, when we are during the mass, during the service, I started going through the eulogy, and it was all changed. And the MC, who happens to be our chief, area chief, and the organizers would not allow me to speak. I made it clear to them, this is my son. I don't care about the program. I don't care how long it's going to take. I will never have another day with him. And I told them I am going to speak, and they refused. So I said, fine, that's no problem. So I waited for the priest to come. The priest is the final person, right?
Yeah.
Okay, when he came, I told the MC, I told him, go and tell that priest I want to talk. I want to speak. And the priest looked at me. I am a church person. They know me better than anybody else. He said, fine. Is it his son? He said, yes. Why are you not allowing him? And that's how I took the mic. To be very honest with you, I was not prepared. But I decided, let me speak the truth. And it's the truth that is the same truth that made you come here today. If I kind of covered everything, and I said, let me speak, I might save a soul. Which I'm sure maybe this program might save somebody. Might save somebody who's suffering out there. You have suffered, everybody has suffered. If you have not suffered, I'm sure you know of somebody who has suffered. Never, ever, ever blame yourself. That's the first thing, because we tend to blame ourselves when somebody dies. There are questions you're asking yourself. Did I do enough for my son? Did I do enough for my son? Yes, I did. Or if I didn't, I did what I could. Nilifanya yale ningeweza. You get me? I did what I could. Whatever I didn't do, I couldn't do it. You get me? People tend to blame themselves when these kind of things happen. One thing, never ever blame yourself. Secondly, if you can, yes, just try to seek help for them. I know rehabs, and this is not easy to take a kid to a rehab. It's not cheap, by the way. You spend millions of money in these rehabs. It's not cheap. We spend a lot of money in rehab with our son. Maybe because we are capable. You know, if we didn't have the money, maybe he could have died 20 years ago. But we helped him where we could. Thirdly, just love them. That's the word. Just love them. Talk to them. I know people will hate me for that. But if you can just talk to them, it helps them a lot sometimes.